Hi everybody, this is Lara with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP except for public holidays. So it's Tuesday today, first day of the week for this analysis. For the last 3 days while the markets were closed, prices just moved sideways. So there really isn't a lot to update except for today. Prices moving higher, so far a bit of a bullish long lower wick and an increase in volume. Prices tested support again at 41,100, again it has held, and technical principle, the more oftentimes support or resistance is tested and holds, the stronger it becomes. So I expect next test of resistance at 48,000 may well be able to break above and close above that. If it does, look out for a pullback of support before price moves up and away. There is now multiple bearish divergence. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple bearish divergence at the last high for the 11th of January between price and RSI and price and money flow. Today, volume is pushing price higher. The bearish divergence comes in the context of previously, the upward trend reached very extreme, above 65 and above both DX lines. Here is the divergence on RSI, and here is the divergence on money flow. So given the context that back here the upward trend reached very extreme and there is now bearish divergence, we could potentially be seeing a sharper, deeper pullback for Bitcoin, but assume the trend remains the same until proven otherwise. The trend is very obviously upward. There is a series of higher lows, there is a series of higher highs. We would need now the last higher low, the low of 3rd of January, 40,214.67, a new low below that point would break that trend of higher highs and higher lows, and if we see that, then I would expect we could be looking at a sharper, deeper pullback for Bitcoin. Until that happens, assume we're probably going to see higher highs. This divergence can continue even further and it can be resolved by just some sideways movement. Expect support at 41,100 is most likely to hold. If price closes below that, I expect strong support at 38,500. Now, because of this quadruple bearish divergence in the context of an extreme upward trend, and the trend is waning up here according to ADX, because of that context, we might see a sharper pullback to one of these support levels, maybe even as low as 31,450, or we could just see sideways movement to resolve that divergence. So we don't have to see a pullback. It could just be sideways movement. The larger trend for Bitcoin is still very obviously upward. Here is my Elliott Wave count for Ethereum, and prices moving comfortably higher today. It looks like a first wave either at sub-minuet or minuet degree may be unfolding. When its subsequent second wave correction arrives, it may not move beyond the start of one, below 2092.33. The impulse is unfolding with 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, and now a fifth wave may be extending. Overall, this wave count for Ethereum is very bullish. It sees a third wave at minute degree and minor with an intermediate primary and cycle, and third wave up at 5 degrees in its very early stages. Ethereum had a consolidation with very strong resistance at 2,400. Price closed above that, so resistance turns to support. Expect 2,400 is likely to hold. It's very strong. Next resistance above 3,580, and a target from the ascending triangle is still in play at 3,347. Upward movement today for Ethereum so far, a very slight push from volume, but we can't really make a final judgment until the session's over. ADX has a slight upward slope, so it's telling us there's an upward trend in a relatively early stage again for Ethereum. RSI is neutral. My Elliott Wave count for XRP remains the same. It sees a second wave correction as a zigzag, most likely over here, the low of 3rd of January, which means a third wave up at minor, intermediate, cycle and primary degrees may be in its early stage. A third wave at 4 degrees, again, a very, very bullish wave count for XRP. Within that third wave, I'm going to label minute wave 1 incomplete, starting off with a series of 1, 2, 3 overlapping first and second waves. Sideways movement for the last 3 days may be the start, a slow start of micro wave 3. XRP has found really strong support at 55 cents. I expect if that's tested again, it's most likely to hold. If price can close above 58 cents, then what was resistance may turn to support, and I'll look for next resistance about 0.675. Price is moving sideways for the last 2 days with declining and weak volume. While price moves sideways, ADX is declining, indicating no clear trend at this time frame. I asked a question in my last video. I said that there is one market that I've been analysing a long time on a daily basis, which is showing over 14 years of rising price with declining and now relatively weak volume. And this is the market here. It's the S&P 500. This down here is the low of March 2009, the end of the global financial crisis, a really nice V bottom here, and the start of a huge bull market. Price has been rising, interspersed by short, sharp bear markets here, 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 and here, most obviously. But it's been rising on light and declining volume. It started off with really strong volume on the first month up. This is a monthly chart. And volume very obviously declines quite quickly from the start. And then within each of these bullish runs, so this bullish run here, we see volume declining as price moves higher. We see it again here. We see it again here. Here, volume still declining again. A little bit of an increase in volume here, but that's unusual because it's not the common pattern for this market. Again, here, volume declines, price moves higher, volume is moving lower. Again, here, a little bit of an increase here, increase to flat, but again, decline, 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 and more recently, decline. The last completed upwards month, a very, very slight increase, but still below average. This moving average here is a 24-month, so a 2-year moving average. And volume remains very light on overall, mostly light on upward months, and it's strongest on downward months. All of the textbooks tells us that that can't happen in a sustained manner. But very obviously, for 15 years, it has been happening, and it has been sustained for 15 years. I think what might be happening is price is rising on light and weak volume due to the absence of sellers rather than an increase in buyers pushing price higher. But, and this is the reason why I'm bringing it up to you, when volume is light, it means that the number of sales and purchases made at each point with light volume is thin. So it means that support below is thin, and if a huge bear market does take hold, what this chart tells me is it could get really, really scary quite quickly. Price could fall a considerable distance because there's not a lot of support below to hold it up. Price could fall huge distance in a short amount of time due to thin support below. This is a really scary chart. Let me know if you've seen anyone else pointing this out and what are your thoughts on it. I'd just like to open it up for discussion, really, because it's very unusual and I'm really curious about it. That's it from me with your quick update today. Thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate your support and I hope everyone had a lovely holiday weekend.